So this might be the earliest we've ever gotten to review an Elijah Craig barrel proof.
Yeah,
Super excited.
I am too. Younger, lower proof. I'm sure nobody's gonna be upset about that.
Nah, not at all. Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Kingdom. I'm David.
And I'm Zach.
And today we are going to review Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Batch A, A124.
Yeah, we are literally reviewing this. Like, I basically got this on the way to work yesterday.
Yeah, this is the earliest I've ever seen the A batch.
Well, the only reason why I even knew to get it was because Heaven Hill put it out, I want to say like Friday. I can't remember if it was like, I think it was Friday they put it out. And so I was like, well, as I tell you guys all the time, if Heaven Hill's going to put it out, there's a really good chance that Evan Williams Experience is going to put it out. So go down there, was able to snag one. Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom,
Haven't had time to try it though.
bada bing.
I poured out some samples for some friends who I know who's going to want to try it.
Yep.
So it has gotten like hardly any airtime. So it's, I don't want to say it's fresh crack, but it's got a little bit of that airtime that people want to complain about or talk about or whatever in theory.
Do us a favor before we even get started. Hit the like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and help some brothers out.
I'm just looking at the little code thing down there, in case we have to talk about that later.
Secret code.
Yeah. So going back to Elijah Craig Batch A, this is from Heaven Hill. This is actually, I guess, the youngest one. Was it? They didn't do a younger one than this last year, right?
No.
This is 10 years, 9 months.
Yeah.
I've heard this is actually pretty consistent, like with the blend. The last C batch that came out, I heard there was actually older stocks in that.
Yeah.
Than what was obviously stated. So, but I've heard this is all kind of around like 10 to 11 years old. I don't know if that's true. It's just what I was told by people.
People who know things.
Who work there. $75 retail, 119 proof. So I think, so this is also like the youngest one too.
Yeah. Young.
So here's what I'm fascinated by, because I've seen some single barrels from this that I've actually liked around this age in this proof.
Yeah.
So I'm actually kind of like looking forward to it, thinking like there's actually promise to this.
I think there's always promise to it.
Well, I mean, it also doesn't help, to be fair, that it's coming off C batch, which is one of the best batches they've done in years.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, I mean, right away it's kind of like a fruity, kind of candy-ish kind of smell to it right on the thing. There's, a bit of vanilla in there, or...
Yeah, I agree with you on the fruit. I think there's like an artificial fruit, like almost like a fruit roll-up, fruit by the foot, kind of like candy, kind of something like that. There's a really good like mixture of like a vanilla and citrus too.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say that you get just a twinge of citrus in it.
A little tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
The nose is
I don't
really nice actually.
Yeah, I don't hate this nose at all.
It's actually, for it being 119, it's a little proofy on the nose. Well, ethanol-y.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the nose is like really nice, really welcoming.
I mean, the red hot candy is very prevalent. Like, that's the thing that sticks out to me. Is like they poured like a whole thing of red hots in there. It's like,
yeah, I agree. There is like a hard candy kind of note with that. I don't want to say it's like I do kind of get like a red hot candy note with that, but it's also like there's Jolly Ranchers like mixed in there too. And it's just like
peppery,
like assorted fruit.
Yeah, it's peppery. I don't love the balance of this. Like, I feel like it's out of balance.
Oh, I was actually gonna say like it's kind of like a little jumbled.
Yeah.
No, it's not like the worst I've ever had.
No, but it
in that sense, but it's
It kind of reminds me of a Booker's that's out of balance. Like just, it's very kind of spice forward. You get the hints of some of the sweeter notes to it on the back side of it, like almost at the finish, but like at the back of the palate. And it feels really out of balance for whatever reason.
You get a really nice like coffee cream note with that on the back side of the palate. Here would be my complaint though. There's hardly any finish on that.
Yeah.
That finish is like, I don't want to say it's non-existent, but it's just staying like on your palate. And it's staying on like the mid tier of that palate.
It really is.
There's hardly any finish
to
that, which is really surprising. If I'm being honest with you, I would have thought a little bit more to it, just because it is an Elijah Craig barrel proof.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really enjoy that at all.
I don't want to say I don't enjoy it.
This is not one that I would go back to. Now, I'd like to taste it again with a little more airtime to it, like a little bit of sitting around for a month or two and see what it does to change kind of like the feel of it. But all in all, I think there's nothing to it that makes me want to go, like, I want to drink that.
The nose is really good.
I do like the nose.
The palate, I think it kind of starts to come around a little bit, but it's a little lackluster. And there's just there's a little bit of finish now. There's a little bit of tobacco and some like seasoned oak to that.
Yeah.
A little bit of like a dried tobacco leaf on the backside of that for the finish.
Yeah.
And like a smidge of oak spice. But outside of that, like it's like I'm trying like really hard for notes on that, and there's just hardly any finish to me about it. I will say it is a little oily on the palate. But it's
for anybody hoping that this was going to be a hitter following C923, I think you'll be left wanting. This is just,
it has some nice qualities to it. Yeah,
I'd rather it tastes good.
I mean,
I'd rather everything kind of coexist together in sweet harmony.
Yeah.
But that's not what happens all the time. I just think this one's just kind of out of balance in a real way.
I think also too, and this is a good and bad thing, with Heaven Hill and Elijah Craig barrel proofs, they get held to a standard.
Yes.
And I think if this was a lot of other whiskeys, I think we'd be nicer about it.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest with you.
No, I agree with that.
Elijah Craig barrel proof gets held to a standard, and I'm not trying to be a jerk about that, but it's not kind of. I do agree. I think it'd be interesting to come back to that. My biggest concern is I
can't wait till we do a blind.
I think the palate can like line itself out. I just worry that there's just no finish.
Yeah.
And like you don't have to be high proof to have a finish. I mean,
no,
Rare Breed has a great finish. It's 116 proof.
For sure.
So, that would be my biggest concern with it.
Yeah.
So,
I would say this is definitely a try. Now, if Elijah Craigs are hard to get in your area and you see one, you're probably going to want to buy it just because it's.
Yeah, but I think I'd rather try to go after a pick. If I'm being honest with you, I think I'd rather try to gamble with a pick.
You could be right about that. I would just say I would exercise caution with the A124.
Yeah.
It's not a no, and honestly, my full opinion will be held out until we probably blind all three together to see kind of how it's aged, how it's opened up over the last little bit, over the next 4, 5, 6, 7 months, and see what it does.
All right, well, let us know what you think. If you end up getting one of these and you try one, let us know, and see if you compare it to some other ones that you might have, and just, we'll kind of go from there, and we'll, like what he's saying, we'll try this at the end of the year whenever we blind A, B, and C.
Yeah.
So,
all right, till next time.
We'll see you.
We'll see you.